Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome to the demo for Dreams in the Witch House by Atom Brain Games. Now, as with many of the Impulse projects I end up doing, this isn't the sort of game I normally do videos on, but there was just something very compelling I found about the demo, enough so that I ended up playing it 3 or 4 times before I finally just sat down and decided to record it. At a glance, it's a fairly faithful homage to 90s-style retro point-and-click adventure games, but it also has elements of survival and time management games. And they use some randomized elements as well. Events, item placements, puzzle solutions. Those can all change from one playthrough to the next. That's actually a big part of why I ended up playing it so many times. Now, we're not going to go into too much detail here. This thing does actually have a fairly robust tutorial system, so we'll just lean on that instead. But before we jump in, as always, I'd like to give special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Mathew Smith, Revenant, Alois, A Nerd in Warpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Eerie V23, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Nathan Welch Jr., RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. So, are you happy with the room? Everything is okay? Yes, I think so. Your aunt has paid the rent for the first 2 months. Your room will be cleaned and your firewood will be replenished on Mondays. There is also a mailbox in the lobby that is reserved for you. Okay, thanks. I think I'll manage here. If you have questions, my room is next to the stairs. Just keep the noise down and follow the house rules. My first apartment. It's nothing to write home about, but I kind of like it. Well, I guess I should head out to the university, check my exam dates, and start to study. Or I could finally start to work on my theory paper. And here's our first basic tutorial. Pretty standard. Like I said, this is very much an homage to classic 90s point-and-click adventure games, so it's mostly what you'd expect from that as far as interface goes. Do note that there's an active pause button, though. That's important for the time management system, which we'll get to a bit later. For now, though, let's have a look around our room. Touch all the things. Let's see here. The papers of the theory I'm working on. To put it briefly, it deals with combining mathematics and new concepts of physics with folklore and the occult. I haven't really started working on it, just outlined the basic argument. Neat, we'll take that. I'll take the theory papers with me. Now I can really start to work on my theory. I'm sure I'll find some good source materials in Miskatonic University's library. I might even be able to study the rare special collection tomes. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go great. Oh, and there's our basic inventory and attribute management pop-up. It's, again, fairly straightforward, if a bit atypical for an adventure game. But off on the right here, you'll see we've got basic attributes for health and sanity, as well as an assortment of various conditions we have to monitor as we progress through the game. Health and sanity are pretty self-explanatory. They go up to 10. If they drop to 0, you die or go insane. But then below that, you've got your basic skills. Math, occult, exams. And I think there's a couple of others you can also unlock in the full game, like chemistry. But we don't have access to those in the demo. These skills are mostly used for your studies and writing your theory paper. And the exam skill, of course, is used for studying for whatever your next exam is. But again, we'll get to that a little later. As for the rest of this stuff, we've got a wallet with $10, a map of Arkham, a pocket calendar, a single unit of food, notes and letters. This one is actually a catch-all slot for all of the various notes and letters that you receive throughout the game. Though at this particular moment, the only thing we have is our to-do list, which essentially doubles as our quest tracking journal. And as the pop-up there states, each time we complete one of these tasks, no matter how simple or complex, we regain some sanity. That is, of course, a very important part of keeping our character functional. Aside from completing tasks, I believe we can also recover sanity from enjoying particularly positive experiences, fine meals, time with friends. I think there are some pharmaceutical aids that might also assist with it. But as with most Lovecraftian games, it is important to note that it is much easier to lose sanity than it is to regain it. But that's just part and parcel of being a paranormal investigator. It's our family portrait. Aunt Margaret is to the left, Aunt Hazel to the right, and I'm standing in the middle. It's a recent photograph. We took it last Christmas. Aunt Margaret insisted that I put the portrait on display. But I might need this. I'll leave the frame where it is and just take the photograph. I can always put it back if I change my mind. Oop. And there's our first hit to sanity. Yeah, I guess a picture of our family would help keep us grounded. There's not much to look at anymore. It's my wall calendar, where I add all the upcoming events and dates. It's Monday, March 1st, 1929. I have no upcoming events. That's my study table. It was already here when I moved in, just like the rest of the furniture. And our basic tutorial on studying. Yeah, we'll have to use chunks of our time to study the math, occult, or even chemistry, so that is one of the skills we can learn, eventually. We can either study here or at Miskatonic U, but both come with potential costs and drawbacks. And at the moment, we actually have no study materials, so we should probably do something about that. A nice view of Arkham. It's my new bed. The frame is a bit rusty, but the bedsheets look clean enough. Hey, study books. My math books. I haven't had time to find the right place for them yet. How about in your coat? Yeah, I'll probably need my math books. Huh. There's a big rat hole in the wall. I hope it's uninhabited. It's a nasty, big rat hole. I should seal it closed somehow. It's too dark. I can't see anything in there. But there's a nasty, rank-smelling odor coming from the hole. That corner is curiously slanted. This part of the wall seems a bit soft. That's not good. The wall might be rotten and mold-ridden. I guess this is where the firewood is stored. There are 3 batches of firewood in the chest. Might as well grab some of that now. The landlord did say she refills it on Mondays, so no reason to let this batch go to waste. It's an old fireplace, used to heat the room. Now, we can only actually carry 1 batch of firewood at a time, but we can also put 1 batch in the fireplace, so right off the bat, that'll let us clear 2 batches out of the storage chest. The firewood is ready to be lit now. Nice, but it's not cold, so let's not do that. Yeah, there are certain days that'll have random weather or temperature changes which you'll need to adjust for. It's a cheap mantle clock. I had to stop it because of its noisy ticking. I don't want to wind the clock. Its noisy ticking was driving me crazy. Fair enough. Alright, I think that's everything. Oh, and there's our tutorial on time management. Yeah, so this, I will say, I have a bit of an issue with. I do like the idea of managing time. It makes sense that time passes when you travel from one location to another, when you study, when you sleep. I am less a fan of the game actively tracking the passage of time in the background while you're just exploring your environment. Because for someone like me, I like to look at things. I like to read all the things. And of course, when I'm actually recording these videos, I'm also talking. So that makes the active passage of time system kind of problematic. It means I'm wasting time when I'm actually sitting here doing stuff like this, unless you see that pause button up on the top right corner of the screen, which means it's not actively tracking time at that particular moment. But I mean, even small bits and bobs of lost time just because I stopped to look at something or whatnot can add up pretty quickly, and that's all time you could be using for studies or working odd jobs or doing various other things. I mean, personally, I like the idea of time management. I just don't think there should be a real-time component to it. But, we'll see where it lands as development moves forward. Manager. That's the landlord's, Miss Dombrowski's apartment. Coming. Yes, what is it now? Oh, we can't actually bring up the rat hole. Can you tell me about the house rules again? Your room will be cleaned and your firewood will be replenished on Mondays. Just keep the noise down and don't cause any trouble. Okay, thank you. From what I've heard, this house has a colorful history. What? I mean, I've heard rumors that apparently, they're just rumors. You shouldn't listen to them. Those things happened over 2 centuries ago. Yes, but I'm quite interested in this topic. Could you tell me more about the history of the house? I have no time for this. Did you have anything else to ask? No, I guess not. Goodbye. Hey, Gilman, if you want to earn some loose change, I might have some odd jobs for you. What kind of work are we talking about? Raking the yard, cleaning the rain gutters, and so forth. It's a big house, so there's always some chores to do. I'll keep that in mind. All right, goodbye then. She seems nice. But yeah, I guess we have to spot the rat before we can actually complain about it. And working odd jobs will be an important part of keeping our finances up as a freshman college student. It looks like the plant is dead. I'd better not touch it. It looks like it could crumble to dust. A row of mailboxes. Mine is in the middle. I've got some mail. There's a letter addressed to me. The postage stamp is from Haverhill. And yes, I did have to look up how to pronounce that. Also, that seems like way more mailboxes than this place really needs. It's a letter addressed to me. The postage stamp is from Haverhill. That's my hometown. It's a letter from Aunt Margaret. February 27th, Haverhill, Massachusetts. Dear Walter, I hope the move went nicely. Have you already settled in? A new city can feel strange at first, but you'll get used to it, I'm sure. I paid Miss Dombrowski 2 months' rent in advance, so don't worry about that. I'll send your weekly allowance every Monday by mail. For motivation, should you need it. I'll send you a little extra if you do well on your exams. Needless to say, we are very proud of you. I know your mother is too, even if she can't say it. I'm sure you will make the most of this opportunity. Don't study too hard and remember to rest. Your affectionate aunt, Margaret. P.S. I found some of your belongings still here. I will mail them to you tomorrow. Aw, that's sweet. Very nice of her. Nice of her to check up on me already. Also, good to know I can earn some extra money by doing well on my exams. Hey, and there's our sanity back. Very nice. Who needs family photos? House rules. 1. No pets. 2. No children. 3. No visitors after 7 p.m. 4. Silence begins at 9 p.m. 5. No overnight guests. Miss Dombrowski runs a tight ship. A rickety-looking ladder. It's probably used in the basic maintenance of the house. It's a rusty old bucket. A crude cloth sack is hanging on its side. Can I take it? Except for the cloth sack, there's nothing in the bucket except dust and filth. And I don't need the sack right now. I strongly disagree. But what about the ladder? Can we take that? I don't think I need the ladder right now. Walter, you're a terrible adventurer. And then this is where the other 2 tenants stay, but they're not here right now, so I think we're pretty much done here. It's the Dombrowski's lodging house. I heard it's supposed to be over 200 years old. No wonder it's starting to fall apart. That's my room's window. There's a boarded window in the attic. I didn't notice it when I moved my things here. Yeah, that does seem to attach right to your room, doesn't it? I'm sure that's nothing. Off we go. And this, of course, is our world map interface. We're pretty limited in where we can go right now, but we will unlock more locations over time. For now, we'll just head straight for Miskatonic. Miskatonic University. Ever since I was a little boy, I've always wanted to study here. I must make the most of this opportunity. Miskatonic U. It's considered to be one of the best universities in the whole country. This is the main building where the lecture hall and library are located. That's a nice-looking automobile. It must belong to one of the professors. I don't want to mess with the automobile. It looks expensive. I would probably get in trouble if I tried anything funny. You're a coward, Walter. You're never going to make it as an investigator with that attitude. He's just another student. I don't know him. I have nothing to say to him. Fair enough, I suppose. The display case has information on Miskatonic University's history. It was founded in 1767 by a group of wealthy Arkham gentry. During the 19th century, the university started to earn its reputation throughout the academic community. Its impressive library, and especially the rare esoteric volumes, attracted the attention of scholars from across the globe. Currently, it's considered to be one of the most prestigious universities in the U.S., on par with Harvard. I'm sure it is. My next course is Theory of Equations. Required reading for the course is On Quaternions. It should be available at the university library. My math skill will come in handy. Next lecture is March 2nd. Next exam is March 10th. I'll add the dates to my calendar. Right, and there's our exam tutorial. Math, occult, and chemistry are all permanent skills that'll carry with you throughout the game. The exam skill specifically is only applied to your next exam, the one you're currently studying for. But you'll get better gains if you specifically study for your exam as opposed to broader subjects. So it is a bit of a trade-off. You can prep for your exam faster by just studying for that specific subject, or you can do more general studies and hope that's enough to get by. Though, of course, ultimately, I think the general idea is to do a bit of both. I mean, obviously, while passing your exams is important, both for financial and academic reasons, your ultimate goal here is largely to progress with your thesis paper, which requires more general occult and math skills, as opposed to specific exam skills. Our lecture is actually tomorrow, so we'll have to make sure we come out for that. It's not mandatory, but it does give you a big bonus on your exam skill. It's a painting of an authoritative yet kindly-looking pale old man. A small plaque reads, Dr. Alan Halsey, Dean of the Medical School. I remember reading about his heroic actions during the typhoid plague a few years ago. Neat. It's a portrait of a rugged, elderly man with a fiery look in his eyes. A small plaque reads, Henry Cutler, first president of Miskatonic University. Not sure about Cutler, but Halsey was actually from Lovecraft's Herbert West, Reanimator. It did not go well for him. I can't turn the knob with my bare hands. Some kind of knob is attached to the pipes. There's a screw thread on the knob. Looks like it's missing something. Like a handle? Archives. University archives closed for maintenance. The archives will reopen on March 15th. Which, of course, is after the 2-week cutoff on the demo. A lot of the events will bump up against will end up being past that deadline. Special collection. It's locked. Yep, that makes sense. I believe Dreams in the Witch House takes place shortly after the Dunwich Horror, which involved a mad cultist trying to break into the special collection and dying in the process. Excuse me, how can I help you? I'd like to borrow a book. Could you tell me how it works? Certainly. You see that card file cabinet over there? Yes. It contains index cards that have the book titles in alphabetical order. Go to the file cabinet and find your book's index card. The card shows your book's collection and the author's name. When you have that information, enter the library. Find the correct collection number and search the books by the author's name. When you have found your book, bring it here for checkout. You must have a student card to borrow books. Alright. But what if I want to search the books by category? The card file cabinet has an index locker at the bottom corner. It has a categorized list for all the books in the library. Thanks. I'd like to know more about the student card. Certainly. With the card, you can have 2 books borrowed at the same time. The card costs $2, but I also need a recent headshot photograph from you. I have a recent family photo that I'm in. That won't do. It has to be a small headshot picture, not a regular photo. I see. And where can I get this photograph? There's the Prescott's Photography Studio on Church Street. It's quite affordable and fast. Alright, I'll add the location to my map. I understand that you have a special collection of rare and unusual books. How can I borrow them? You can't. Huh? The head librarian, Dr. Armitage, changed the policy about a year ago. The special collections books are kept separately from the other books, for safety reasons. But surely it's possible to study them? Yes, it is. You can reserve a time to study the books here at the university. All inquiries about the special collection go to Dr. Armitage. His office is through that door on your right. Okay, I'll go see him then. Goodbye. She's the librarian. If I want to borrow something, I need to go through her. Let's have words with Dr. Henry Armitage, the head librarian. I'll ask Dr. Armitage about the special collection. Dr. Armitage is absent today. He should be available tomorrow. Fair enough, I suppose. We've got plenty of other things to do. It's a nature painting. Skillfully executed, but a bit boring. If I'm not mistaken, that's a copy of Fuseli's The Nightmare. William Blake, Nebuchadnezzar. And let's see, on this run we need Quaternions. Might as well grab that while we're here. No, wait, it was on Quaternions. Yeah, there we go. On Quaternions. Hamilton, William Rowan. Collection 4, Mathematics. Call number, Ham. Collection 4, call number, Ham. Got it. Sorry, I just had to scribble that down. Alright, let's go collect our book. We can't actually check it out yet, but we can at least get in a bit of studying while we're here. I believe he's the student assistant who works here. Excuse me. I'm very busy right now, and I can't be disturbed. Please go away. Yeah, that seems about right. It's a diorama of the university campus. There's the library, the School of Medicine, the faculty office building, the quad, and the dormitories. The attention to detail is good, but not great. I don't think I need to manipulate the diorama. I don't want to break it. Maybe later. Sapientia in aeternum est. Wisdom is eternal. That's the Miskatonic University motto. Neat. Let's get our book. We are looking for book Ham. Oh, come on now, Walter. I don't need a ladder tutorial, but thank you. On Quaternions by William Rowan Hamilton. It's a set book for theory of equations. I haven't yet started to read the book. Side note, this is one of the things that gets randomized, what your first course is and what reference book you need. It's a small thing, but it does keep you on your toes. What should I start to study? Oh yes, I have to actually drag the book from my inventory to the table. Quaternions are a number system that extends to complex numbers. And there we go. That's most of the rest of our day. We're now hungry. Our health is down slightly. We gained sanity, but we're already at max. and we are 6% closer to being ready for that exam. Sadly, we can't actually take this book with us, so we'll have to return it before we leave. There you go. I'd like to return this book. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. You as well. Alright, let's head downtown. We've got some light shopping to do. Now, getting a professional headshot done is the easiest way to get your student ID. But we will be pursuing one of the alternate routes. Get your newspaper! A young boy is selling newspapers. He looks really serious about his job. Get your newspaper! Hello. Good evening, sir. I will hold off on that. Those are very expensive newspapers. But that is a way you can trigger special events. A large trash can filled with trash of various kinds. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Nothing. I already cleaned it out of any valuables, mister. I should check later when the paper boy isn't around. Yeah, you do that, Walter. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the First National. Our selection is the finest in the city. What you don't find here, you don't need. Now, what'll it be? Let's see, we've got a flashlight, thermal underwear, raincoat. We'll want both of those eventually. Cigarettes, food, one for health, one for sanity. Glue, and razor blades, which is what we are actually here for. I'll take those, and you know what? Let's go ahead and grab a flashlight, too. Normally I'd go for either the raincoat or the thermal underwear, since I know they're useful. But there is something I've never tried before, so I'd like to give it a shot. Let's swing by the pharmacy real quick, so I can at least give you an idea of what they've got. Good evening, sir. We have remedies for whatever may ail you. Tonics and elixirs from gout to gonorrhea. All tried and tested quality products. Now, how can I help you? Here's what we have. Cold medicine, self-explanatory. Wax and earplugs, good for blocking out noise disturbances. Sleeping pills, to help you sleep, of course. Pain relievers, for injuries and so on. Okay. I thought they might also have something for sanity here, but I guess that's what the cigarettes are for. Let's head back home. See if we can squeeze in a bit more studying. A rat! Disgusting! It probably has a nest between the walls. I need to mention this to Miss Dombrowski. There we go. Okay. Yes, now we can complain about the rat. And now that we have a flashlight, we can get a better look in here. I think I saw a small pile of bones inside. Must be some dead critter that got trapped inside. Oh, okay, is that it? Well, shoot, now I feel like that was a bit of a waste. I was hoping a light source would let us pull something out of the hole, but that's fine. Let's see if I can cut out my headshot without damaging the portrait too much. Great. I totally ruined the family portrait. At least I got my headshot photograph out of it intact. Huzzah! Sanity lost. But headshot gained. Which saves us a couple of bucks. It's a headshot photograph of yours truly. This approach does cost us the family photo, but it saves us a buck, and we get to keep the razor blades, which may or may not have some other use. I honestly have no idea. Coming! Yes, what is it now? There was a big rat in my room. It came from the rat hole in the corner. Can you do something about it? Oh dear. Wait a moment. I'll go get a piece of wood and nails so you can nail it shut. Joe Mazurowicz borrowed my hammer, but he hasn't returned it. He never remembers to bring back what he borrows. Go ask Mazurowicz to give you the hammer back. He's in room number 1. Here's the plank and some nails. Thanks. Mazurowicz should be back from work by now. Very well. And that's it. Goodbye. Oh, so this did actually work out fairly well timing-wise. We can immediately go meet with Joe. It's open. Excuse me. Yes? I'm Walter Gilman, a fellow lodger here. Mrs. Dombrowski said you have her hammer. Can I borrow it? Oh, yeah, I forgot all about it. I'm a bit busy right now, but come on in. It's laying somewhere around here. I'm sure you can find it yourself. Oh, okay. I'll look around then. Let's see here. I can't see anything interesting down there. I'll leave it there unless I have a reason to remove the board. Okay, so it's not down there. Is that part of a loom? A crucifix showing Christ hanging on the cross. Joe must be a religious person. An ordinary-looking cabinet. There's a lock and a keyhole in the door. Locked, of course. There's a crowbar here, but I don't think I need it just now. Well, that sounds very useful, but okay. There's nothing here that I want to take. I can't reach it. Well, how about now? I don't want to do that. Walter, buddy. There's a pair of tweezers here, but I don't need them right now. Huh. Can I borrow these scissors for a moment? Sure. Just put them back when you're done. I'll need them again in a minute. Thanks. Shoot, I bet we could have used that to more cleanly remove our headshot from the family photo. Maybe then we wouldn't have completely destroyed it. That's a big piece of machinery. It might be a spindle or a shaft. I don't know, nor do I care. Ow, harsh. It looks like a valve or a gear of some sort. It's probably a part of a loom. That might come in handy. Hey Joe, could I borrow this valve for a while? Huh? You want that? Go ahead, it's scrap from a broken loom. It's been laying there forever. Thanks. Oh, sure, that you take, but not the tweezers or crowbar. There's nothing here that I can use as a hammer. Crates blocking the shelf. Let's move these. Hey, a can of glue. Hey, Joe, can I borrow your glue for a while? All right. Just don't take it away with you. I'll need it soon myself. Thanks. A bunch of empty bottles lie on the floor. I wonder what they contained. Wait a minute. The bottles smell like alcohol. If I'm not mistaken, that's bootleg whiskey. Seems like Joe has a secret vice. I wonder where he got the alcohol from. And locked, of course. Nothing there. Or there. Let's move the chair. Wow. It is not anywhere that I normally find it. Various woodworking tools, but nothing I need right now. Huh. Well, that is every single spot I normally find it. So where else could it be? I mean, sometimes we can open these cabinets, but if that were the case, we would have found a key. And sometimes there's a broken key in the cabinet lock that you can pull out with the tweezers and then repair with the glue. What am I missing here? Hey, Joe? Yeah? Do you have any idea where the hammer could be? Have you checked the cabinets? I keep some of my tools there. Well, I tried, but they're locked. I couldn't help but notice you've acquired some alcohol. What? That's purely medicinal. I have problems with indigestion. I don't mean to pry, I was just curious where I could get some for myself. Well, if you have a condition, you can ask the apothecary at the drugstore. There must be other, shadier distribution means as well. Well, I heard that there's a guy near Orn's Gangway. But you should stick to your books, Walter. You don't look like the drinking type. Sure, thanks for the tip. It's, quite nice weather we're having. Uh-huh. Not bad at all. But springtime in Arkham can be tricky. You should be prepared for cold and rainy days to come. Well, I'll let you get back to your work. Oh, let's see if there's something under the rug. What have we here? This key might be useful. I better take it. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I've never found something hidden under the rug. That's new. Let's see if this key fits the lock. And I found the hammer. Of course, it's always the last place you look. But yeah, obviously that segment is randomized, and they hit me with a curveball there. I've never seen that exact sequence before. I should return Joe's stuff before I leave. Right. There you go, Joe. There's your glue. And there's your scissors, which can also be used to create a fake student ID. But we did not go that route. See you around, Walter. Where'd you say your room was? It's the Garrett Gable room in the right wing. No! What is it? She should know better than to rent that old room. What? Ask Miss Dombrowski to give you another room. Why? It's getting late. Let's talk later. Stay safe, Walter. I got the feeling he didn't tell me everything he knows. Maybe I can somehow persuade him to tell me more. But how? If only we had some idea what his secret vice might be. It is a mystery. Yes, what is it now? I had a little chat with Joe Mazurowicz, and he said that I should get another room. What? He wouldn't tell me more, but he was quite upset when he heard where my room is. Would you happen to know what he meant? Mazurowicz is a drunk and a superstitious fool. You shouldn't listen to his ramblings. They will give you ideas. Yes, but there's nothing wrong with the room. I checked and cleaned it thoroughly before you moved in. Now, did you have anything else to ask, or was that it? No, I guess that's it. Thank you. You've been great. Well, back to our rat-plagued room of death, I guess. Let's go ahead and get that rat hole sealed. This will keep the beast away. Hey, sanity. Oh, and that sound means it's now nighttime. So, we need to hit the sack. If we stay up any later, we'll get exhausted. I slept well. I have a lecture today. Let's head on out. We should go hit that lecture before we do anything else. Bye, Joe. No mail. I do like that you can catch glimpses of the other NPCs coming and going. What have we here? Missing. Lost student card somewhere in main building. If found, please return it to Allison Whitman or the library. Additional information available at the library information desk. $1 reward offered. Excuse me. Yes? Are you Allison Whitman, the one who had lost their student card? Yes. Have you found it? No, I haven't found it yet. Drat. I really need the card for the upcoming exam. And I'd hate to have to buy a new one. Do you have any idea where the card might be? I'm sure it's somewhere here at the university. What were you doing on the day you lost the card? I returned some books to the library in the morning. After that, I attended a lecture. It was already getting dark when I noticed I had lost the card. The university was closing, and I had to leave the building. And that's all? Pretty much, yes. What were the names of the books you returned to the library on the day you lost the card? The first was a book called The Yellow Wallpaper. The second was the complete poems of Emily Dickinson. I see. So you'll help me find the card? Yes, I'll help you. I think there's a good chance to find the card if we follow all the clues. That's very nice of you. All right, I'll get back to it. I think a proper introduction is in order. Allison Whitman. Walter Gilman. I don't know anyone here yet, so it's nice to meet a friendly face. Are you a freshman, or... Yes, I just started here. Me too. If you ever need a study partner, let me know. we might be able to help each other out. Sure, I'll keep that in mind. She seems nice. All right, let's hit our lecture. Maybe we can rummage around after. Hamilton coined the words tensor and scalar. Well, that is quite the lecture. But hey, it got the job done, I guess. +1 to our exam skill. We'll take it. And unfortunately, they locked up the auditorium behind us, so hopefully we can find the missing student card in one of those 2 books. It looks like the valve could fit here. But I don't want to mess around with the pipework without a good reason. I'll leave it be for now. Walter, you are killing me. I want to know what all these things do, but you won't let me. Excuse me. How can I help you? I would like to purchase one student ID. Do you have a recent photograph of you? Yes. Very good. $2, please. Here you go. And your name is Walter Gilman. All right. It usually takes a day or 2 for the card to be ready. When it's done, I'll have it here for you. Very well, thanks. So now we have to wait either 1 or 2 days until our card is ready. Like other elements, it's randomized. Just as the current quest that we're trying to complete is. Trying to find out exactly where Miss Whitman lost her card. Oh, here we go. Collection 6, Poetry. Call number DIC. Collection 6. The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson by Emily Dickinson. Nothing here. Well, shoot. All right. And then the other one was the yellow wallpaper. Let's try our luck with that one. Ooh, Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Interesting. Wonder if there's a relation there. Collection 6, Fiction. Call number Gill. Section 6. Okay. There we go. Oh, Walter, you're killing me, man. No relation, as far as I know. But sadly, no joy. No student ID card. So it must be in the auditorium. Which, unfortunately, is locked up right now, so we'll have to come back and check that another day. Alright, well, let's go ahead and return these. We're not going to need them. But man, I gotta say, the randomized puzzle elements are definitely kicking our butt today. I'm seeing multiple combos here that I didn't see in my other runs, which does help keep it fresh. Let's see if Armitage is here. Come in, the door is open. Hey, here we go. Yes? Hello, I'm Walter Gilman. I'm a first-year student. I just started here at Miskatonic. Gilman. Ah, from, Haverhill, was it? Yes, I just moved here recently. Very good. I remember your application. You had interesting, if not a little provocative, theories about some mathematical concepts. Personally, I think that's always a good thing. We need to shake off the old cobwebs every now and then. So, what can I do for you? What kind of duties do you have here as the Miskatonic University's chief librarian? They are too long and varied to describe, but to put it briefly, I run and coordinate the library department. I lead the other librarians and the student volunteers. I also do material acquisition and constantly examine book reviews and catalogs for new interesting findings. And you also oversee the special collection? Yes, my specialty is the knowledge of rare and uncommon volumes. You could say that the special collection is the apple of my eye. Without any bragging, it's one of the world's most comprehensive collections of occult and esoteric tomes. I see. I'd like to ask you about the special collection. Sure, what did you have in mind? What is the special collection, actually? To put it shortly, it's a collection of rare and old books. It's one of the highlights of this university. We have here tomes that don't exist anywhere else. Currently, they are kept behind locked doors, and available only with my permission. I see. Why is the access to the special collection limited? The books in special collection are very rare, and many of them are in fragile condition. The collection is invaluable, and we don't want people to damage them anymore. And to be honest, there have been some suspicious persons wandering around the university, trying to borrow the old books. That kind of treasure attracts all kinds of people, even from the opposite side of the world. Also, many of the books contain disturbing information, and are not for the faint-hearted. I wouldn't recommend exploring the books unless you have an important reason. So currently, only professors and select students are allowed to study the books. I see. I'd like to examine the special collection. And why would you want to do that? I'm working on a theory, and I believe that the books in the special collection would help it. What kind of theory is it? I believe that mathematics and the old folk tales and spells may have something to do with each other. Mixing non-Euclidean calculus and quantum physics with the arcane and the occult seems to offer interesting new views. Certain geometrical shapes found in old Gothic buildings, for example, reflect the new findings of mathematics and physics. Maybe science and magic aren't that far apart from each other after all. That sounds fascinating. You are certainly in the right place to study this. Our library has many volumes that might be good source material for your research. And Arkham is well known for its spectral history and rumors of elder magic. Miskatonic University could actually publish your research in its weekly newspaper, if you were interested. But we can discuss that later. Can I take a look at your theorem? Sure. Let's see what we have here. All right. I think I have a grasp on your current status with your theory. So you're just starting the project. Yes, I haven't had time to delve into it yet. Sure, exams are tough enough on their own. We don't want to exhaust you with work. I'm sure you'll find interesting books to read in the regular collections. It's not wise at this point to jump right into the deep end. Once your theory is in its later stages, we'll discuss this more. About my theory. Yes? You mentioned we could publish it in the university's newspaper? We'll talk about that more when you've made progress on your theory. All right, I'll work on it more. Excluding the special collection, do you have any tips for my research material? Are there certain books that would be especially suitable for my argument? You should consult the regular occult category. Malleus Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer might be useful. It's the best-known treatise on witches. You could also read De Occulta Philosophia Libri by Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. It's a study of occult philosophy and ritual magic. A very acknowledged piece of work among the magical thinkers. If you're looking for more modern views, there's The Witch Cult in Western Europe by Margaret Murray. A controversial work that suggests the witch cult legends are, in fact, based on truth. You'll find it in the anthropology section. Thanks for the suggestions. Let me ask you something else. Let me ask nothing else. Thank you. I'll be going now. Come back if you need any advice. And welcome to Miskatonic University. We have high hopes for you. What a pleasant professor. That is not at all how I remember college. Alright, so let's, what are we doing? We need one of those books he just recommended. We'll just give it a gander real quick. Yeah, section 2 for occult. Let's grab the philosophy one. Where did it go? There it is. We'll go ahead and burn the rest of the afternoon studying this one. But sadly, we can't actually check it out just yet. De Occulta Philosophia Libri 3 by Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. It's a book on the occult. I haven't yet started to read the book. Well, let's fix that, shall we? Bye, Professor. Oof, now we're very hungry. But we gained 3 percentiles in occult. Let's give this back. And I guess we'll head back home. Yeah, sadly, with the auditorium lock, there's not much else we can do out here. Oh, actually, we can go check out the, lead that Joe gave us on alcohol. That'll put us one step closer to prying some secrets out of him. We should probably grab some dinner, too. Oh, coffee shop is 3 levels of hunger, so I guess we should wait until we're slightly more hungry. Orn's Gangway. Two large sacks are lying on the street. They must not be very important since they're just left lying around like that. The sacks are full of sawdust. I have no use for that. The residents have hung their laundry out to dry between the houses. Judging from the ragged clothes, they must be quite poor people. Rude. Cigarette butts litter the ground. Either the street kid is a chain smoker, or he's been sitting there for some time. I don't want those clothes. I don't want those cigarette butts. Well, what do you want, Walter? It's a wooden barrel. It's empty. The box is empty. I don't need it. The barrel has been nailed shut. I don't think I need to see what's inside. Walter Gilman, the least inquisitive investigator of all time. A street kid is hanging out, checking out the lay of the land. He's kind of tough looking. I'll need to use my street smarts when dealing with him. Excuse me, fellow youth. I have been informed that medicinal spirits of an illicit nature might be available in this vicinity. Could you perhaps point me towards their purveyor? Yeah, I think you've heard wrong, or maybe you're just lost. Anyway, I don't know anything about it, so best just to keep walking. My street smarts didn't work. Listen, I know this is the right place. Joe Mazurowicz told me so. Your friend Joe sure has a big mouth. Maybe too big for his own good. Anyway, the name don't ring a bell. My memory ain't what it used to be, you see? Right. Maybe I can offer you something in exchange for the information? We'll see about that. What do you got? Well, let me see here. We could give him cash, but we're a bit light on that. How about food? Would you like food? I don't want to give that away. Okay, fair enough. Well, there's a pretty big clue there as to what he really wants. And we could just give him cash, but that would end up being more expensive. So we'll just swing by the shops tomorrow. Sadly, I think they're closed at this point. Yeah, I guess that's it. Board's still in place. That's good. And we do still have our math books, so we can do some studying. Oh, shoot. We're too hungry to study. I mean, we can still study, but it's less effective. We only gain 2 percentiles instead of 3. Well, shoot, that kind of ruins my whole coffee shop strategy. I was hoping we could save $1 every 3 days by just doing the coffee shop instead of eating normal food, but yeah, as with everything else in this game, it comes with its own separate special cost. Which I do actually appreciate. I do like that there are pros and cons to every granular solution you might pursue. A lot of the problems the player ends up being presented with have multiple solutions, but no one solution is really necessarily superior to the others. They all come with their own individual granular costs, whether that's in cash or sanity or health or just time. You know, all of that stuff ends up costing you in some way. It's a layer of complexity I was not expecting from a game that, at a glance, looks so simplistic. Plus, of course, all the randomized elements. Certainly can't forget those. Anyway, we are well past time at this point, so we do need to hit the pause button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing the demo for Dreams in the Witch House, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official websites. And if you'd like to help support the channel, maybe see more videos like this one, feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.